This is called, can I develop an attitude of excellence? Okay, of course the answer is yes, I can. There is no question about it. But we must know these terminologies like excellence, like attitude, like mindset. What is all this? And we talk about this quite often, but we need to understand. So excellence is the quality of being outstanding in the field, extremely good, or being the best. That is excellence. And mindset is like an attitude. Mindset is an established set of attitudes which is held by someone arising of a person's worldview. So based on my worldview, I'll have kind of some attributes which we call attitudes, or that develops my mindset. An attitude can be either we judge them or we label them as positive or negative in evaluation of, could be in evaluation of people, objects, events, activities, or ideas. So excellence should be an habit. Definitely, if excellence is an habit, then it will definitely help us to reach that level of excellence. And then habits, small incremental regular habits, the power of routine schedules and a disciplined mind is something we need. So excellence requires 3 ingredients: a deliberate practice, motivation, and coaching. So these are the 3 ingredients for achieving excellence. Now what do we mean by deliberate practice? Deliberate practice means you keep on doing a hard work, but this is deliberate, means it is done in the right way. So use the right skill and you use it in the right direction. Then you will achieve an excellence in that field. Say for example, somebody wants to learn laparoscopic suturing, then you have to learn the right skill of doing a laparoscopic suturing, and you have to keep practicing. So you do more practice, hard work, and you focus and go into the right direction, and then you become master in that skill. So this is how we can do deliberate practice. And a learning of a new skill takes about 10 hours of practice, but achieving excellence takes about 10 years of dedication, about 10,000 hours of effort. So achieving excellence is not easy. It requires a lifetime of dedication to achieve excellence. Now, there can be different types of attitudes or mindset. There is one called an abundant mindset, where people believe that there is enough resources for everyone, so there is no scarcity, and they don't, they have a more open mindset. Whereas there are some people who believe that there is scarcity for the resources that is already there, and that's why they would, this leads to competition for the resources, and they will do anything to get these resources for their own self, creating a lot of issues for them. So attitudes can be individual, can be collective at the level of society, can be at the level of organizations, can be countries, continents, right? So there can be several mindsets. In an organization, there can be somebody who has a productive mindset, means that they make informed choices and makes transparent decisions. But there are people who work with a defensive mindset, and this is self-protective and self-deceptive. So when somebody just wants to protect his own self, say for example in a government organization, they just want to protect themselves and they don't want the clients interest is not taken care of. Say for example, currently in the situation, if the medical professionals, they just want to protect themselves rather than protecting their patients, then it's a very defensive mindset. It's not a very healthy mindset. When the mindset is active, people of organization only seek out information that will protect them, right? So there is this researcher, Dr. Carol Dweck, and when she studied the mind and she wrote a book on the mindset, she says that this is what determines your attitude, and it can be very helpful or it can be detrimental in your journey of life. So we must cultivate a very healthy mindset. She coined these 2 words, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset personality. So fixed mindset people, they feel that they can't be changed with effort. They have a limited ability for themselves. They have a limited worldview. They feel that these are the resources available. You don't have too much for everyone, and you can't change a lot of things. So that is how they don't try and challenge themselves. Whereas the people with growth mindset, they continuously like to challenge themselves because they believe that abilities are enormous. They believe that I have an enormous potential. My potential is enormous, and I can try my limits, I can push my limits, I can learn, I can keep improving, I can take more risks, take more challenges, and I can improve my skills. And these are the people who become more successful in life, and they achieve also more in life, people who have a growth mindset. So a growth mindset actually can be cultivated like any habit. People who have a fixed mindset, even with awareness, they can be changed into a growth mindset personality. So all these things is possible. Unless we understand how the mind works, it's not possible to create these deep changes in our recesses. Now, one of the ways how growth mindset and fixed mindset people work is how they interpret failure. A fixed mindset person believes that, he feels that this is because I didn't have the skills, particular abilities, that's why I failed. So they'll take it more personally. Whereas the growth mindset person believes that it's not because of their abilities, but they probably didn't invest enough effort, or this was probably not the right time. That's why they did not succeed, and they will always think about it and do it in a better way, and they will actually ultimately become successful. So individuals with growth mindset are more likely to continue working hard despite their setbacks, and these people are becoming less stressful and more successful in their life. Even in parenting, it is very important how to mold a mindset. How you praise a child. A growth mindset person will praise a child for his or her effort, whereas a fixed mindset person will praise a child for the ability. When you praise a child for their ability, the child thinks that, I'm born with this ability, I'm born with this talent, I don't need to make it improve this talent by doing more efforts. Whereas when you praise the child for the effort, the child always feels that, I need to do more and more efforts if I have to improve. So whenever the child is praised for an effort, he develops more into a growth mindset person. Whereas if the child is praised for his or her ability, it becomes more like a fixed mindset person as he grows up. And then we use a lot of labels like gifted, talented, and this actually can be counterproductive for the children. So it is said that we should not protect the child too much from failures. We should allow them to explore the challenges of life, to take failures in their own stride, and they should be exposed to more and more. So a very heavily protected environment is not a very good environment. So the child should be allowed to make small mistakes and learn out of these mistakes. They should be made to realize that it's okay to make mistakes. There can be several options that you can think, and you can actually learn much more from making mistakes rather than not making mistakes. So with this kind of a mindset, praising the effort irrespective of the outcome can help this child to become a growth mindset person. Labels are also not good. Giving labels like you are lazy, you are careless, you don't try enough, you are not good in sports can be very negative reinforcements, and they stay as narrative in the child for a very long period of time. It affects future decision making, affects the mindset in the long run, and the labels can cause irreversible long-term damage. And this was seen in people like John McEnroe and Michael Phelps. Already they have written in their autobiographies saying that these labels stayed with them for a long period of time, and it was very difficult for them to get out of these labels. Then what is spiritual excellence? Spiritual excellence is something that these are the two shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. Both are from the second Adhyaya. Arjun's question to Lord Krishna: who is the Sthita Prajna? So is Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha? How does he walk? How does he talk? What is the way he lives in this world? And that is what he asked. So Sthita Prajna means a person who is absolutely calm. He is a sthir buddhi, who is grounded person. And this is one. And the Lord answers him in several verses. These are some beautiful verses which tells us what ideally a person should be when he becomes a very, very balanced person. Finally, in the last shloka, there's the 72nd shloka of the second chapter. Lord Krishna talks about this Brahmi Sthiti. So, Esham Brahmi Sthiti Partha, Nainam Prapya Vimuchyati, means if you reach this goal of life, the Brahmi Sthiti, then you don't have anything to come back. And Sthitva Sayam Anta Kalepi, even if you can achieve this before the end of your life, you are freed from this world. Nirvana muchyati, Brahma Nirvan. You will achieve this Brahma Nirvan or moksha or liberation. So what is this Brahmi Sthiti? That is the ultimate excellence for a spiritual aspirant. It is something which is very different from the worldly aspirant. So essentially what it tells us is that our enemies, our main enemies are not outside. Even in Mahabharata, if you see, when in the battlefield Arjuna, his main enemies are not Kauravas or Bhishma or Drona. His main enemies are his own mindset, his own mind, his own thoughts. And our vices or our Durguna become our major enemies. So we should work on them. We should have a kind of awareness, introspection, and we should work on them. Addictions is something that is a major addiction, major problem. So all these Durgunas, we should try and improve on this, and that will make our life much more wholesome, much more fulfilling, much more happy, and much more worth living and enjoying. So I thank you all very much